Aviation and the freedom to fly has been at the center of the Stoltzfus family since 1938, when grandfather Chris Stoltzfus bought his first airplane, a 1937 C-3 Aeronca. His love of aviation created a crop dusting business in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, and soon, from the need to keep a fleet of dusters and sprayers in the air, a parts business emerged. His sons Ken and Carl joined him in the business. The family business grew over the next 5 decades. More powerful surplus military aircraft became available, and so did aircraft parts. In 1958, grandfather Stoltzfus bought 900 surplus Continental W670-9A engines, a purchase that would end up helping Preferred Airparts 24 years later. In 1982, Chris's son Ken and his sons, Ken, Brian, and Mark, rented a farm just outside Kidron, Ohio. One of the farm's buildings was a large chicken house, which they used to start Preferred Airparts. They soon purchased a damaged, low-time Augusta 109A helicopter and had hopes that it would make the fledgling company debt-free and put money in the bank. Suddenly, their lives changed. The fire inspector said the blaze started in the wiring of a truck left inside the building. In the early morning hours of November 21, 1982, 6 fire companies answered the call, but couldn't save the chicken house from burning to the ground. Among the smoldering ruins was the Augusta helicopter. Stunned, Ken Stoltzfus gathered his family back at the house later that morning and announced, "I promise you that in 3 years, Preferred Airparts will be a better business because of this fire. I don't know how it will happen, but I know God, and it will." The Stoltzfus family's deep Christian faith had carried them through tough times before, and despite the magnitude of this setback, they believed it would again, and it did. By that afternoon, neighbors were showing up with farm equipment, gloves, and shovels to clean up the mess. Others offered business loans to get them back on their feet. The farmer they were renting from put up a new pole building. When grandfather Stoltzfus died in 1981, there were still 350 of those Continental W670-9A engines left. Ken and his sons purchased them from his mother, and soon Preferred Airparts was back in business, parting out many 9As and making W670 overhaul kits, in addition to selling individual parts. It was an important part of their recovery from the fire. In 1985, Ken Stoltzfus turned over the reins of the company to his sons. By 1987, a new warehouse and office facility had to be built, along with a 3,400-foot grass runway to support the business. It would later serve a new sister company, Priority Air Charter. Purchasing inventories of new surplus aircraft parts has positioned Preferred Airparts as having the largest inventory of Cessna parts outside of the factory. They've expanded to where they now have new parts for nearly everything that flies. Preferred has also purchased over 300 retired and damaged Cessna Twins, Caravans, and Citations, which adds to their range of parts for sale. In 1989, a second warehouse was built, and in 1994, the grass was replaced by a paved runway. The promise made by Ken Stoltzfus Sr. was fulfilled. Faith, hard work, and a heritage of building lasting relationships with customers rebuilt the company. And today, Preferred Airparts has an inventory of over 8 million parts from more than 100 different manufacturers. As a result of the fire, the Stoltzfus family also felt an obligation to share their faith and knew they could best do that through aviation. A DC-3 was rebuilt and put into service supporting the work of JARS, the technical services arm of Wycliffe Bible Translators. Preferred also rebuilt several Cessna Caravans to help missionary aviation groups and has prepared numerous other aircraft for missionary service. The Stoltzfus family and Preferred Airparts are thankful for the many blessings that have come to the business. They are thankful for the opportunity to serve the aviation industry, for the loyalty of their customers, and for the quality of their employees. Preferred Airparts, a family business that knows the way a pilot feels in free heaven.